Ryan Reynolds launches a PowerPoint presentation instead of an ad for Mint Mobile. Now, that wasn't very funny. So I skipped over to something else I found, but I didn't know much about Mint Mobile, and I found out that they offered free data, unlimited data for the coronavirus thing. Now, that's not as bad as it sounds because I looked at my data usage, and since I'm at home or at my office, my cell data is nothing. The reason we use cell data, my wife still has free unlimited cell data, and we use it for watching videos on while we're driving. We're not driving, right? It's all Wi-Fi. So your phone is going to be fine, happy, Wi-Fi, faster data, better data. And so Mint doesn't really have to give much away unless people are out for a walk and watching a video but don't fall in a hole. So it's a great offer. And, I kind of like what Brian Reynolds did with the vodka. I think it was vodka or tequila or something. So let's play a little bit of his ad and go up here and see what he's got to say.
Hello there, you've reached the voicemail box of Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile. Please leave your name, message, and least favorite Ryan Reynolds movie
this
after the
message on
beep.
people's phones.
Oh my God. Did I really just miss a phone call from Ryan Reynolds?
No.
I'm not sure why you called me or who you are.
You're probably expecting a lot of people to say Green Lantern, but I really liked Green Lantern. The proposal.
Hey, I thought you were awesome as a child actor on Little House on the Prairie.
This is hilarious.
We are also bored crazy in quarantine, so I thought I'd call you back.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen that many, but I really enjoy the proposal.
I'm a big fan of your haircut. I actually get my haircut very much like yours.
Going stir crazy, especially with a 14-month-old. So I appreciate the call.
Least favorite Ryan Reynolds movie, probably Deadpool.
Hey, thank you for the unlimited data.
If you don't have anything to do during the quarantine, you can watch Gossip Girl.
I love Mint.
Anyway, I love Mint Mobile. So the point is, it doesn't take any production quality at all to do a pretty funny ad with a little editing. And so, it's not even about Ryan Reynolds. It's about what the customers call you back with. Fantastic. Community-generated silly advertising for the coronavirus. I think that is a formula, man. Go for that. That's what I got to say about the kickoff. So I'm helping you with your ad planning. Now, here's a big story that you won't have run across. The court says that Bud Light's corn syrup ad, which is, if you remember, they had this big barrel of corn syrup delivering to the Bud Light Castle, and the Bud Light Castle says, we don't use corn syrup. You got to go over to Miller or Coors. And then Miller sues them because they add corn syrup to the fermentation process. It doesn't get to the beer. The little microbes make it into alcohol. But they do use corn syrup. So the judge said, oh, good night. So the judge said, well, it's hard to rule in favor of Miller, who actually says that they use corn syrup when Bud Light chooses to call them out on it. And as ingredients, the other thing he said, which was really funny, was if Molson Coors does not like the sneering tone of Bud Light ads, it can mock Bud Light in return. Good. Litigation should not be a substitute for competition. Way to go, Judge. So it's great to see a good quality judicial opinion. That was awesome. Hot dog. Okay, and here's an interesting take. Media Post says, by one key measure, and that's about it, the ad industry returns to normal. Business content consumed. And here's a graph by a new metric, nothing like new metrics. If you find enough metrics, you will find a correlation. That's something I teach every now and then on this show, believe it or not. And one of the things I know is that the more big data you have, the more spurious correlations you have. So there's probably also a correlation between gas prices and attention span on the internet or something, because gas went way down and then it came up, and now it's $1.50 in my town. But it was $1.05, $1.04 I think was the lowest it got. $1.04 a gallon, and then I overfilled my car, and the check engine light came on. But anyway, so this is business content consumption. So that means people are looking up stuff about business. So as the coronavirus hit, people went, what's the point? And now they're starting to say, oh, there might be a point. There might be life after this thing. So they're returning back to normal. Does this tell you anything? Probably not. But it's nice to see something return to normal. Okay, now here's a new concept that I hadn't heard of, online fatigue. Although I've noticed in my WhatsApp chats with my kids, with free unlimited video chatting, you run out of things to say. It's just that simple. And you get sick of watching the baby do nothing. We need editing. I prefer the videos in 1 minute, which you probably are thinking right now about this show, right? So anyway, apparently it's a thing, online fatigue, and users haven't been in the market for advertising. They interact with family and friends and not advertising. So it's harder to make meaningful impact with online campaigns. But a walk to the mailbox used to be a chore. Now it's an opportunity to stretch your legs and get some fresh air. Ours is a quarter-mile away, and I just put up a new mailbox yesterday. Okay, so then it goes on about metallic papers. That's where Bart is from, a metallic paper company. And Postal.io raises $9 million in a Series A funding. It says Postal.io is trying to do for offline marketing what Marketo, Eloqua, HubSpot did for digital marketing automation. Now, there's a dozen, at least that I could probably think of off the top of my head, of companies that do this, but good luck. I reached out to Eric, and I will be, hopefully he'll connect, and we can talk about what advantages mail has for e-commerce that most people miss. There's obviously the high level engagement, but there's a high cost and a high time lag, which they're not used to, right? But because of that high engagement, we generate a labeled data set. So we know who got it, who bought, and therefore who saw it and didn't buy. And that differential gives us the ammunition to build AI in marketing, which no one can figure out. So that's a tip for Eric. I hope you reach out. Have a great day. Like and share. I'm John Miglosh. Your friends will think you're smart. Bye-bye.